everybody. This is the Mach7 podcast. This is our very first episode. Thanks for listening. My name is Travis, and with me is Andrew.
Hello.
Today we're just going to be discussing a little bit of what Mach7 is, and we're kind of going into a little bit of an E3 wrap-up here. So why don't we start with, Andrew, why don't we talk about what Mach7 is, if we even really know at this point?
Here's what we should do, though. Are we sure we want to call it the Mach7 podcast?
Okay, we are calling it the Trifecta podcast, but there's only two people, so the Duplex podcast.
There we go. Just because, A, we haven't actually talked about doing this with anybody else. Like, nobody else in the group knows. And B, at this point, I'm not sure who else we actually want to involve in this. Mostly because, I've mentioned this before in meetings, and no one else really seemed all that interested in actually doing it.
Besides me, because I was so giddy for it.
Yeah, because podcasts are cool. So, I don't know. I don't know if we should brand it with Mach7 when nobody else, other than hopefully Stuart. I think we should definitely get Stuart once he gets back up here. I think he'd be...
You mean Roland?
He'd want to do it, yeah.
Ooh, sneak peek.
Nobody's going to understand. Not even the people in the club listening to this. That's fine. They don't need to know.
Well, name TBD, so...
Yeah. Just like everything else we do.
Is TBD.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell us about Mach7 then?
All right.
You being our senior representative.
Yeah. Well, okay. Fine. So Mach7 is the machinima club at Michigan Tech. We have made a sweet little Halo show called Gamma Squad Out.
Well, tell me more about Gamma Squad Out. I didn't get to be a part of it because I joined a little late.
Yeah, you did.
But
loser.
They're done with season 1 almost already, so...
Well, are we? Apparently we're going to cut season...
Scripts have been written, they have been voice acted, but the film work for it is still working for it, as we kind of got sidetracked as we were working on another project that we'll talk about in a moment.
And we said we were going to cut season 1 at episode 12. Like, we were going to change it instead of episode 20. And, like, cut the first season in 2.
Right. I don't remember that conversation.
It happened.
Oh, okay.
Episode 12 is still not out yet, so they haven't actually finished the first season yet. I think. Maybe it came out and I just didn't even notice. But
this is when we do fact check, right?
I guess, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, so tell me, what's about Gamma Squad? What's it about? Like, what's the basic story for our new listeners? Because this is our first episode, like you said.
So, Gamma Squad Out is about a group of soldiers in the middle of a box canyon, just standing there and
Sounds
talking.
kind of familiar.
Yeah, doesn't it? No, it's about a group of soldiers. That part was true. But
now, what engine is this using?
Oh, it's using Halo.
Okay.
I said that. It was a little sweet little Halo show, remember?
Right.
Yeah, it was like 2 minutes ago.
Right.
Yeah, keep up.
I'm trying.
Okay. So, Game Squad Out it's about a group of soldiers. They encounter some aliens and at a comm station that they're trying to take back. And, hijinks ensue.
And there's plenty of humor without it throughout, so...
I mean, I play Jack, and he's the funniest character there.
There we go. And I play a soldier number 6 or something like that.
Yeah, it was like Alien 3, I think.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of those little no-name people.
Episode like 19, so...
So
your
those
character's
who are
a far
listening,
way out.
If you want to hear these golden pipes sometime, stay tuned.
Yeah. It'll be, probably 3 years.
Alright, so there's a little bit of a taste of Gamma Squad Out. That's been going for the longest. And then there's also Backseat Gamers.
Yeah...
That kind of slowed down a little bit.
Well, it did, and you want to know why?
I really do.
Because this will be breaking news. Because I haven't told this to anyone else yet. I want to stop doing Backseat Gamers.
Wow!
Yeah.
Drop the bomb on the first episode. So people who haven't even watched Backseat Gamers are gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, it's already stopped."
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, right?
Okay.
It takes a lot of time and energy to organize. Like, getting everyone somewhere where we can record, where everyone can see what's being played. It takes a lot of time to record, because we normally record 2 to 3 hours at a time. It takes a lot of energy to, be recording for that long. It takes...
And to stay on task the whole time.
Yeah, which doesn't happen anyway.
No. I think that's the point of Backseat Gamers. It's just the hijinks.
Yeah, kind of. But at some point it just gets obnoxious.
Right.
And you don't want to do it anymore.
Right.
And then, every single time we've made one of those episodes... something about it breaks. Like, the audio won't sync up properly, or it will to begin with, but then it'll desync further in the video. So I have to, almost every time I've had to go through the entire video and resync one of the audio tracks.
And when you're talking about a 3-hour filming session, that's...
Yeah.
How many hours would you say you spend per episode editing? It's probably like everybody who's listening who actually does machinima are kind of probably going to giggle at this, but go ahead.
Yeah, well, and I mean, Let's Play editing is different, of course, but, like, Amnesia took at least 6 hours.
Jeez.
Because I had to go through once to resync all the audio, and then I had to go through again actually cutting stuff. And so that was a 3-hour video file that I had to go through at least twice.
Wow, just talking about it is making me exhausted.
Yeah. And
don't you just get sick of everybody's voice at that point?
yeah, incredibly. That's why I don't want to do it anymore. Especially the people who are like in the back talking really quietly, who think they're going to be heard, and then they aren't. And I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do with this? What you said was actually funny, but it doesn't even come through on the video.
So that might take a temporary suspension, or you think about just stopping it altogether?
I don't know. I mean, if we could agree to have like smaller groups doing it, it would probably be better because you could actually hear everyone. And if that's the case, then I could probably be on board with it. But if we have 6 or 7 people there every time, it's too much. I can't handle it.
Well, to our listeners right now, if you guys actually check out Backseat Gamers right now and you guys like it, let us know in the comments and we'll try to continue that series. So if you guys think it's hilarious, we will continue the exhausting work of editing. Well, excuse me, Andrew will, and I will just sit there and make comments and make everybody giggle like I normally do. So
that's the way to go.
Awesome.
And I'm not saying we won't stop doing Let's Plays completely.
Well, I was talking about Backseat Gamers specifically.
Yeah, but just Backseat Gamers.
Let's Plays. I mean, those were the most fun, right?
Yeah.
All you do is just talk and play the game.
It's great.
So, what else do we have on here that we should talk about for our Mach7 projects?
I mean, we can talk about 7.
7. That is...
This ought to be good.
Stuart's brainchild, along with everybody from the team, has put in at least a little bit into this, and it's just a great melting plot. Excuse me.
Cut that.
Pot. Yeah, cut that. Why not?
Yeah.
So, back to it. 7. So... What engine are we using for 7?
Skyrim.
One of the hardest filming games there is ever. Even with the creation kit, which is awesome to use because you make giant chickens and everything, but it is hell to work with. So, beyond using the Skyrim engine, give a little bit of a synopsis for the story that we're working with right now. As it is right now, we're still working on scripts for it, so this is still like pre-alpha. So, but so far, what is the story right now?
Well, as I come to understand it, from listening in meetings, the story has changed a lot, and it can get confusing. But basically, there used to be dragons in this world, and one day, the evil dragon, Wardensall, he imprisoned all the other dragons into various weapons. And so, the story basically starts off with our main characters finding one of the weapons, and he sets them on the path for the rest of the story.
Because there's a huge gap between the weapons were created and the time our protagonist.
Like all the weapons are into old ruins now, and they're buried and long forgotten, except by these treasure hunters. So, well, I mean, one of them, you'll see. Spoiler. So let's talk about 7 a little bit. How do you feel about 7 right now?
You know what? I'm so excited for it. My opinion, there is just so much good for 7 as far as where our story has actually come down to, because we had so many ideas from so many different inputs. And so, some of the things I like is that we have a very diverse group for our Mach7 team. We have a lot of female members who actually really help us create dynamic female characters instead of just women who are scantily clad and just hang on to the guys, which we found out is actually a really good thing if you give women more dynamic roles. So,
it's true, yeah.
So I want to give a shout out to Abby and Rachel and all the other ladies who have helped us create better characters. But as I take it, the story basically follows 7 protagonist members with an antagonist named the Inquisitor as they are racing across this world to try to beat the evil Wardensall from being resurrected from these weapons.
Yep, that's about right.
So basically, these weapons have the dragon abilities in them, and it's going to be a really cool story. There's a lot of humor we're hoping to imply into it, and unfortunately, there's going to be no Argonians. We've actually had a lot of trouble trying to convince Stuart to allow us to have Argonians, but he said there's just no place for them.
And, I mean, at this point, it's even Ross saying there's no place for him more than Stuart. I think Stuart is open to it at this point. But Ross is like, no, Argonians are dumb.
I'm going to find a way to put Argonians into it. Even if they're pets.
Thanks, man.
That has been Andrew's number one critique of this, is that there's no Argonians. So.
Well, here's the thing. Like, at one point, when we were developing all the characters that we wanted in the show, people were saying we should have one of every race, each of the Skyrim races, at least. And so like, okay, so we should have, the Red Guards and the High Elves and the Nords.
Khajiit.
But yeah, we have a Khajiit, but they never mentioned Argonians. And so I'm like, so we want one of every race, but not the Argonians, because that would just be terrible. And so I sort of made it a running joke that I beat into the ground viciously. And so now it's my thing, I guess. Now I just try and put Argonians wherever I can, because I feel like I'm not a very good writer, so since we're in the writing process of this show right now, I feel like I don't have that much to contribute. So I just try and make jokes as much as possible. Try and raise the morale, because, it can get low sometimes.
And so for all those who are still trying to follow what the story is about 7, we haven't really clearly described what it is. And we're trying to do that on purpose because we want you guys watching to get really excited for all of our episodes. So there's a little bit of a snippet for 7. So that's basically Mach7. We're really working on a lot of cool projects here, using Halo, using Skyrim, just trying a bunch of different diverse games to try and make the best experience and get the most watchers we can. So, Andrew,
wait, hang on. I got one more thing.
Oh,
okay. I just thought of this.
Okay.
So we said we wanted one of every race.
Right.
No Argonian.
Right.
We don't have Wood Elves. We don't have Imperials either.
How are those different than Nords, really?
Well, I mean, they're not. So I guess we're looking more at, like, humans and elves. But it's like, it just, it makes me mad that we're
this is the running inside joke.
We want one of every race, but then we don't include one of every race anyway. So it's like, why ever use that as as an excuse for anything? Because we don't follow it anyway.
Get that off your chest.
I vented. I'm good.
You good?
All right, let's move on.
Are we ready to move on now?
Yeah, if you want to move on.
So why don't we talk a little bit about ourselves? We talked about Mach7, and like I said, my name is Travis, and this is Andrew over here.
Hey,
so,
what's up?
Andrew, why don't you tell us what's new with you? You just moved into a new place, didn't you?
Yeah, so...
tell us about your fantastic place. I've been to this mansion. It's a nice gated community.
Yep. It's 7 stories.
Bottled water everywhere.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you got a bottle of water in the fridge. You can't be drinking that
Mineral
nasty
water.
tap water.
Exactly.
Fiji everywhere.
From Switzerland.
Yeah. All right. Sure. Yeah, so I moved into this new place with 4 of my friends that I lived in the dorms with a few years ago. And so they're all pretty cool dudes. They're not up here yet, though, so I have the whole house to myself, which is incredible, and I love it.
That's cool.
It's the greatest thing ever.
I kind of live in the slums here, so...
Yeah, it's awful in this room. There's rats. It's like...
It's pretty rough when you're a college student up here at Michigan Tech. There's a 3-to-1 guy-to-girl ratio and poor housing, so...
Yeah.
Come to Michigan Tech. Be an engineer. So...
Nice promo. I like it.
Exactly. Well, we also want to talk today a little bit about E3 last week.
E3 is excellent.
We were really happy about this year compared to a couple of years past. It's just been kind of a drag. So, what are some of your top points from E3 last week?
For me, it was... I just love that they talked about games almost the entire time.
Compared to, for those who don't watch E3, let's talk about what is E3 real quick.
All right, so E3 is So E3 is the Electronic Entertainment Expo. It's basically the Super Bowl for video games. A lot of developers and publishers will wait until E3 to make major announcements. They show off a lot of gameplay videos for new games that haven't come out yet. And it's overall, it's just a real good time. It's a great event. But
it's when a lot of games are announced, you said, right?
Yeah, a lot of big name games are announced in E3. Or they might be announced before that, but then they'll get like their first trailer shown at E3 first. Yeah. That kind of thing. But yeah, it's... Compared
to E3 2014, tell me what your top parts were.
Okay. I really liked The Witcher 3. I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, you said that. Yeah.
The gameplay for that looked incredible, and they say it's like a 50-hour story.
Wow.
With like 30 different endings or something ridiculous like that.
Wow. So
I'm probably going to sink a lot of time into that. Dragon Age Inquisition, I've seen some gameplay for that before E3, but I was excited to see that there. Halo 5 Guardians and the Master Chief Collection.
Heck yes.
Those were pretty awesome.
Master Chief, my homie.
Yeah, you bros with Master Chief?
Absolutely.
Nice.
We're close.
Okay.
He's gone off the radar a little bit lately. So,
well, he's off disappearing into different worlds. Yeah, I went there.
So, yeah.
I was going to say 4.
I want to talk about Halo a little bit.
All right, let's talk about Halo.
I am a diehard Halo fan.
Yeah.
The very first Xbox I got, the original Xbox, I got because of Halo Combat Evolved.
Nice.
You know, my sister, she's a little bit older than me. She had one. She used to play, you know, System Link. If for those who know what System Link is, I'm glad. But back in the day when we used to System Link to be able to do multiplayer, she used to do that. And so I tried it when I was over at her house one time, and I absolutely loved it. So for the next Christmas, she got me the original Xbox with Halo Combat Evolved.
Very nice.
Loved it. Then I started to get into Halo 2 right when it came out, when pre-ordering was actually a big deal back then.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't get a game unless you pre-ordered. Right. Not like anymore. The only reason you want to pre-order is because there is the limited edition. There's only a few of them.
Or like different pre-order bonuses from different stores or whatever.
Absolutely. So then when Halo 3 came out is when I got my first Xbox 360 right there. And now that I'm seeing Halo 5 and Halo 2 Combat Evolved, Halo 2 Anniversary Edition, I mean, with the Master Chief Collection, I am going to get an Xbox One just because of it.
I would.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I'm so excited. It's only $60. What games does it include again?
All 4 Halo games, including
Halo 1,
Halo 1
2.
Anniversary, Halo 2 Anniversary, and then Halo 3 and Halo 4.
And then also there's a couple little side things like the new series, what is it, Nightfall, I believe it is?
Yeah, Halo Nightfall.
It's another live-action series for those who are familiar with Forward Unto Dawn, where that was fantastic. Get the Blu-ray if you guys can. If you guys are a diehard Halo fan, like I am. And then you also get beta access to Halo 5 Guardians.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that, actually.
Part is
I'm excited.
The trailer right now. Go ahead, Google it. Pause this podcast. Go check out that teaser trailer for Halo 5 Guardians multiplayer and tell me that you don't get goosebumps.
We'll wait.
Yes.
All right,
and we're back.
That was incredible, right?
Yes.
Wink, wink.
So tell me some more of your high points. Halo was my number one right there.
Halo was really good.
You are
I put
very
that up
much
there as well.
a RPG guy.
Yeah, I'm more of an RPG guy.
Inquisition, you said Witcher 3.
I'm a big Assassin's Creed guy too, so I saw Unity there.
RPG, oh good.
Which is pretty cool.
Is that considered an RPG?
What?
Is Assassin's Creed considered an RPG, or is that just kind of like a open sandbox?
It's like third-person action. Yeah, it's not really an RPG. I mean,
nothing really.
When you think about it, like every game's an RPG because the definition of RPG is role-playing game, and in every game you take the role of another character. But if we go with the actual gamer's definition of RPG with stat points and customizable armor and that kind of thing, then no, it's not an RPG.
Can't you customize your character with different duds and upgrade certain things?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is starting to sound like a role-playing game.
I suppose, but it's not exactly. I don't lump it in with the RPGs.
Okay,
I'll
give it to you. I'll give it to you.
Yeah, and I was pretty excited for Unity because it looked really good on the next gen console.
Assassin's Creed Unity, you mean, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And they announced co-op for it, 4-player co-op.
So like Brotherhood was Brotherhood
no.
co-op, or that was just
Brotherhood
online?
Introduced like competitive multiplayer.
Okay.
We were actually like trying to assassinate each other. Surprisingly good, actually.
I heard actually really good things about
that. For being like something entirely new that hadn't really been around before, they executed it really well. Unfortunately, from Brotherhood to Assassin's Creed 4, it really hasn't changed that much.
It really has not. When it was free for gold for Assassin's Creed 2, I got it, and I got this whole Assassin's Creed itch, and I bought Assassin's Creed 3 right away, and I'm still a third of the way through. I'm just not that pleased with it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was cool. Like
3's a little lackluster.
Native American, that was a cool time period. Yeah. A lot of stuff you could do in it is really cool, but it's just nothing new for me.
Right.
It just doesn't wet my whistle like Assassin's Creed 2 did.
Yeah, I get that. Assassin's Creed 2 was amazing.
It was.
Especially I don't blame you for that. Yeah, free's always good. Okay, what else was at E3 that I really liked?
There was Far Cry 4.
Far Cry 4 was good.
I am a sucker for like crazy villains, not like Joker. Yeah. Love the Joker, and I love this new guy. What's his name?
I don't even know.
I forgot his name, but this is an awesome trailer already. And who was the villain in? Was it Val?
Voss.
Voss.
Yeah.
Voss was an awesome.
Who was
from Far Cry 3 was a fantastic crazy villain. I just love those.
Yeah. Watching the Far Cry 4 trailer made me want to go back and play Far Cry 3 and
Absolutely.
Blood Dragon because Blood Dragon. I
really don't feel like something I really would like Far Cry to do is. I know it's mostly based into tropical areas, mostly of Eastern origins, heritage. So
that joke was lost on me for like half a second.
It did. I was waiting for some facial recognition. This is an inside joke.
Just didn't even notice it.
But it's based in all this paradise. I would love to see a Far Cry in something different.
Yeah.
I would love to see it in, like, let's say, a woodland realm, or I don't know how hard that would be, or if the story would be able to work as well, or even like a winter setting. I think would be really cool.
See, because what Far Cry is always, to me, what it always seems like it wants to do is push the limits of like graphical fidelity, and it seems like jungle environments are always the way to do that because of the amount of foliage and stuff that you can show on screen.
And they do a fantastic job. I'm just a little tired of the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I mean, Far Cry 4 is going to be in like the Himalayas, so at least it's a little bit different than like,
there's a massive world with no loading, right?
I think so.
I believe they were bragging about no bragging as far as I could see, along with Witcher 3, I believe.
Yeah,
that
Witcher 3
same
had
thing is where you can just run and run and run, not worry about these load times. Like Skyrim, anybody afraid to walk into doors because you know it's going to be a good 30 seconds before you can play again?
Yeah. And they said that the Witcher 3 world is like 20 times bigger than Skyrim or something.
Oh my gosh.
Like, it'll take like half an hour to ride across it on horseback. It's like, that's insane.
That's awesome. And, this Far Cry 3 is going to be kind of cool because you have this new hang glider ability along with... Well, it's not a hang glider, I should say. It's like a suit.
Like a wingsuit?
It's like a wingsuit.
Yeah.
And like the single man
and
helicopter. But there's going to be co-op available, which is new to...
Oh, yeah, that's right.
...to Far Cry series now, which is going to be really exciting.
And they have grappling hooks, too.
Grappling hooks, yes. That's going to be kind of cool because there's this mountainous range, so...
Just Cause 2 leaking into my Far Cry 4. Also elephants that will stampede people, which was pretty fantastic.
So they're upgrading from the Komodo dragons,
and tigers,
and tigers and
bears.
Everything that kind of pisses you off as you're trying to run, and they attack you. All of a sudden,
elephants instead.
Can you skin the animals again? Is that gonna be part of it?
I would assume so.
What about tattoos? Do you think that's gonna be part of it too?
I'm not sure because it's.
I don't remember them talking about it, but
yeah, they haven't really revealed how that's gonna work. I mean, I'm guessing there's gonna be some kind of level up system and like perk selecting system like they did in Far Cry 3, but I'm not sure if it'll have the same as like your tattoos actually show up on your arm as you level up and select different abilities.
So let's talk about the new Counter-Strike wannabe, the
Rainbow Six Siege.
Yes, let's talk about that a little bit. What do you think of it? It's not Rainbow Six. It's just is it Rainbow Six?
Yeah, it's Rainbow Six
That's
Siege.
Awesome. I've actually read some of those books.
Yeah,
they're pretty good.
Is Rainbow Six Siege what has become of Rainbow Six Patriots? Because that was announced a while ago and was still in development for years.
Yeah, you haven't heard anything about it lately.
I don't know if that's what Siege is now. Like they just changed the name and.
So tell me what you think about it besides that.
I mean, I'm not much of a multiplayer guy.
Oh,
so,
that's right.
It doesn't really appeal to me that much, especially since I played Rainbow Six Vegas.
I tried.
And it didn't really grip me that much. I'm not a big realistic shooter kind of guy.
I enjoyed it until I could not get past the lobby in the casino right away. I could not get it. I just... Come on, give me a save point in between. Yeah, right? Seriously.
Like, those are actually really difficult games. Unless you're super pro, like everyone except me. So.
Watching the trailer for Siege, it's really cool. If you guys haven't watched it, take a look at it, because what they're really talking about is actually people working together in multiplayer on how to... One team is taking hostages inside of a house. In the trailer, we don't know if there's going to be more to these game types, but this is the one that they were advertising, is that one team holds basically a house and tries to defend it along with hostages inside. And so the good guys, I guess you could consider the opposite side, is trying to work together to break inside the house and rescue the hostage. And the trailer's pretty good and everything, but they have to realize that half of the people who play the game don't have a mic, don't use a mic, or they're making jokes all the time. They're not taking the game seriously. So I feel like the game would be awesome if it was played like they were doing it in the trailer.
Yeah, which, I mean, they never do for any of the games they have in trailers because, it's all...
Besides Halo 2 Anniversary.
Yeah, I suppose. But, I mean, even that was like... I can guarantee that wasn't played live during the press conference. They just make it look like it's being played live.
Oh, you mean like Fable Legends was?
Yeah.
That was so fake, I couldn't even...
And Little Big Planet.
I don't know if you watched this year?
Yeah, Little Big Planet 3 or something.
I really don't do anything with PlayStation because...
I don't either.
Okay, for the listeners, I'm sorry. You're probably going to want to turn it off right now. I do not do PlayStation at all. They're fantastic games. Killzone, I want it.
No.
Uncharted, I want it. But,
Shadowfall wasn't that great, to be fair, but
yeah, well, so I'm strictly Xbox and a little bit of Minecraft on my computer.
yeah, I'm Xbox too and PC,
So.
but I still follow what Sony does because they're a big player still. But yeah, they announced Little Big Planet 3 and had a playthrough of it, and I'm pretty sure it actually was played live. And there's a reason why they shouldn't ever play it live, because it was horrendous. Because they announced they have 4-player co-op now, and they have these different characters with these different abilities to go through these levels or whatever. And as much as I hate to stereotype, there was a girl playing one of these characters, and she was just not good at all.
Oh.
And it was really, really hard to watch.
So on the topic of disappointing gameplays or trailers, what were you pretty disappointed with as far as E3 this year?
Honestly, it wasn't a whole lot I was actively disappointed with. Because Little Big Planet was bad, but I didn't care in the first place. I liked, they showed the AC Unity co-op, and I was like, there's no way that's gonna work the same way, just like Rainbow Six was. And I kind of wish that Assassin's Creed would just stay single player, because I think it's better that way. But then again, I also am a single player gamer, so that's probably why. Let's see. What was disappointing?
For me, I'll go ahead and start butting
go
in
for
here.
it.
I was very disappointed with the choice Battlefield made for the new game Hardline.
Oh, yeah.
For those who aren't aware of the game, it's basically a DLC for Battlefield 4, where it is cops and robbers. All they did was just take the exact same engine, everything. Your HUD is just basically the same. All you have is just new weapons, like a sawed-off shotgun or something like that. So stereotypical cops and robbers. They added a new game type, which is pretty cool, where I think it's, what's it called, Blood Money or something like that?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I didn't follow
There's some
that
cool
much.
game types, some really cool objects or items for you to use, and a few new weapons. But besides that, everything screams, hey, Battlefield 4 for me. And I'm a huge Battlefield fan. I kind of evolved from Halo to Call of Duty. From Call of Duty, I evolved into, or grew up into Battlefield 4. Well, 3 back in the day, but now 4. And I was just really disappointed. I was really hoping for something new. I really want another, can't believe I'm actually saying it's a World War II game.
Yeah. It's come full circle now.
It has come full circle. I don't
It's
remember a World War II game within the past 10 years, really, it feels like.
Yeah, I think World at War was really probably the last one. The last big one, anyway.
And that one wasn't even close to being... Was it a true story? I don't even think it was close to a true story.
I don't think
it
so.
was fake.
Yeah.
I
Well,
didn't play
I'm
it
pretty
for
sure
those who are
Reznov isn't a
listening,
real
so-
character, so that's why.
Oh, well.
Reznov's amazing, but
Reznov, wasn't that in Black Ops?
Yeah, he's in Black Ops.
Okay.
He's
I guess you could consider World War II, Vietnam-ish, back in the day from Black Ops 2, but I want a Soul Medal of Honor game again.
Yeah, not Warfighter.
Not Warfighter. That
Sorry, Doorfighter, as it should be called.
That was a rough game.
That game hates doors. We don't know why.
It has something against them. But I really want a World War II game. So if you guys agree with me, please say so in the comments, so I don't feel alone and feel like I need a new GoldenEye and I need a new World War II game, and I want a new Star Fox game that's available for my Xbox.
Yeah,
I know it's
never
never gonna
gonna
happen,
happen.
but I
It's-
can wish.
no.
Along with a Super Smash Brothers, everybody's like, get a Wii. I don't want a Wii.
Get a 3DS.
And a 3DS. No, I don't want a 3DS.
fair enough.
I can barely handle one screen,
Oh.
so I don't need
Wow.
a second. So.
Actually, yeah, we should talk about Nintendo a little bit because
I don't follow Nintendo, so go ahead and lead us on this one.
I didn't actually watch their press conference either. I just know they had
Because nobody really cares about Nintendo anymore,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
and also they're kind of at a disadvantage because their press conference is last, and they don't have many third-party games as it is. So even if they had anything, everybody else already showed it during their press conference. But they had Super Smash Brothers, which is coming for the Wii U and the 3DS.
Oh, something new. Good. I'm
yeah,
glad.
sort of. No, all right.
No, it's not new at all. What is this, like Super Smash Brothers 8?
4.
Oh, excuse me, wrong.
Yeah,
Okay,
well,
so
you're only 4 off. I like Super Smash Brothers. That's why.
I like Super
think it's
Smash
fun.
Brothers, but I just don't see much happening besides just
Yeah.
new worlds and new characters. In my
Basically.
opinion, I don't know, so don't be mad at me. So
They had Legend of Zelda: Hyrule Warriors,
Zelda, that's pretty cool.
which is that's actually new though because it's actually I guess it plays more like Dynasty Warriors rather than an actual Zelda game. So we'll see how that goes. That'll be interesting. And then they showed a teaser for the new Legend of Zelda Wii U, whatever the next one's gonna be. I'm sure Pokemon was there because Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire are coming out. I'm pumped. That's really all I know from there. From Nintendo.
I heard some rumors that there's going to be a new Nintendo system coming out pretty soon.
Really?
Have you heard of anything of this?
No. And I would highly doubt that.
I'm pretty sure they should, at least if they haven't yet. The Wii I think it's starting to date itself.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I think they really need to come out with some new hardware.
The Wii U just now got HD graphics.
Right.
Which are on par with, like, the 360 and the PS3. So they are really far behind in terms of actual processing power.
But then you have to think about their audience that they're gearing towards. You know,
it's true.
It's very much a family base. It's not as competitive.
Yeah, their audience doesn't care quite as much, I don't think.
It's for drunk people who are trying to play Wii Sports or something like that. Or the kids who are playing the Smash Brothers or something like that.
Yeah.
But that's basically all I know about the Nintendo. The last Nintendo system I had was the 64.
Good system.
Yeah,
I can see why you want a new
GoldenEye again.
Yeah.
I want a new GoldenEye. I want a new Star Fox, Mario Kart, Mario 64, all those good games.
Yeah.
Perfect Dark, the knockoff of GoldenEye.
Nice.
I miss those games. But yeah, do you have any other disappointing parts from E3 this year? I mean, I said Battlefield 4 Hardline, and I don't want to pull out too many. Actually, what's that new game coming out? Defiance? No. Defiance was already out.
Yeah.
What is the new one?
Oh, The Division.
The Division. The other D word. Okay. Do you know much about it?
Yeah, I mean it's like a almost
open world type deal where you control buildings with your fellow co-op players.
Yeah, it's like an MMO almost.
But yeah, that game actually looked kind of cool until I saw the gameplay. Like the actual trailer, like Andrew can contest to this. The very first day that E3 came out, I'm texting him every trailer I saw. Like, oh my gosh, it's so cool. And then the next day I saw the gameplay trailers, and I'm like, this is so lame.
Yeah.
And I think Division was one of that because they had an awesome intro CG trailer, and then the gameplay trailer came out, and I'm like, it just wasn't for me.
Yeah, it's about like some sort of disease spread throughout the city or something.
Basically, it's post-apocalyptic, something new.
Something a little bit different. Yeah, I'm not too excited for that game either. Again, because it's multiplayer. It's just sort of fly under my radar, I think.
I've hit all my high points. How about you? I've hit all my low points here too. I mean, Battlefield's my biggest sad point.
Yeah, shout out to
Battlefront. We're still making the game, and they're using the dice engine.
Yeah,
Battlefield 4.
It'll look sweet, but yeah, I wish they had some because they
didn't have anything.
They had a teaser last year.
Right.
They've had a whole year to.
And they had a teaser this year. They showed some footage of a guy on a little speeder, but that was it. Yeah. I was pretty disappointed by it. Along with Mass Effect 4, I am so geeked for this, but I want some more details to come out.
I know. I wish they wouldn't like reveal that kind of stuff right away.
So you're the opposite. I want to know right now. I want them to come up on my Facebook feed.
Like, I'm definitely excited for Mass Effect 4 because I think it'll be incredible, especially on the next-gen consoles. But I wish they wouldn't say, yeah, we're making Mass Effect 4. It'll be out, sometime. Yeah, I want to be like, I want to tune into E3, have no idea what they're going to show, have some representative from BioWare be on the screen and be like, check this out, Mass Effect 4 gameplay. It's coming this fall. And I just want to have no idea that it was even coming at all. That's what I want. That'd be incredible.
Compared to... So we're going to create something... How's that different than what now? Because like right now they're just saying we're creating something completely different, and
because I don't want them to tell us that.
You think it's gonna be the same?
Well, no, I want them to make something different.
I don't think that would have been really surprising. So
I don't want them to like say that, hey, we're making something. We might have something for it next year.
Yeah, I gotcha.
I just want to be like, if you're there and you're talking about it, have something to show for it.
You have anything else before we wrap this up?
The only other low point I have was during the Sony press conference. I was watching it live, and they spent about 30 minutes talking about PlayStation TV.
Ooh, tell me more about that. I actually don't know anything. Are they trying to compete with the Xbox One's goal of being the number one, all you need is multimedia tool?
Sort of. It's like what you can do is you can have your PlayStation 4 connected to a TV somewhere in your house. And then if you buy a PlayStation TV, or a Sony TV, I don't remember what it's called, you can put another TV somewhere else in your house, and you can actually stream your PlayStation 4 games to that other TV.
That actually sounds kind of cool.
Yeah.
But do you need 30 minutes to discuss that?
Exactly. It's like you could write that down in a press release it on the internet, and everyone will see it and will be like, all right, that's kind of cool. Don't spend 30 minutes telling us all about this when the people who are tuning into E3, what they want to see are the games.
Absolutely.
It's really only the hardcore gamers who are actually going to care about anything that comes out of E3. And so it's like, they had some good footage of a few exclusives, like they had Uncharted, and they didn't have any gameplay for Uncharted, but they had a little teaser trailer for that. But I feel like Sony still lost. A lot of people like to say like which company won and lost E3 based on their press conferences. And I feel like Sony lost E3 this year simply because they spent so much time talking about this PlayStation TV that nobody really cares about. It's like if you could put it in text, like describing what it is, and not really, because they didn't have any videos for it or anything. They had like a slideshow in the background or whatever. It's like you don't need to take up time to do that. You could just release something like that on the internet. And I was looking at the chat, and there were so many people. About 10 minutes in, they were like, all right, that's kind of cool. Getting towards like 15 and 20 minutes, they're talking about it. They're like, all right, is this guy still talking? Can we like move on to the games now? And it's like 25 to 30, and people are just freaking out. Like, get on with it. Show us more games. I was like, God, that was awful. That was hard to watch.
So let us know what you guys think. Who won E3 2014 for those who pay attention? Let us know in the comments. Did Xbox, Microsoft win? Did Sony, PS3, PS4 win? Or was it Nintendo? Because we know so much about them already. So.
It definitely wasn't Nintendo. They did a good job. One more thing. One more thing
before we wrap it up here.
Okay. So the press conferences are Microsoft, EA, Ubisoft, Sony, and Nintendo. So those are the guys kind of vying. Ubisoft and EA showed pretty much only games because they don't have a console to talk about because they're publishers. So they did a pretty good job. My only qualm was that Ubisoft had Aisha Tyler as their host again for the press conference this year.
And what's your grief with that? For those who don't know.
She's the most obnoxious person to ever speak on a microphone.
I hope she's listening right now.
Oh, she is. We know Aisha Tyler's listening. She loves us. And for most things, she's okay in. For some of the things I've seen, like she's an archer, and I've seen a few episodes of that, and she was fine.
Who is she playing Archer? Do you know?
The black chick.
Oh, okay, Lana.
Yeah, sure. But God, she was so annoying, especially last year. You want to know what she did last year?
I really do.
She wore a T-shirt that said #girlboner on it.
Wow.
To a press conference.
That's very professional, very official.
And it made me so mad because she's sort of representing like female gamers and just average gamers in general. Because I mean, she's a celebrity, but I think she generally does like to play games, and sort of like I don't know who else I was thinking of. But she seems like an actual gamer, so she's representing other gamers up on that stage, and she just does not do a very good job. But the weird thing is, a lot of people like her, and they think she does a really fantastic job.
We're going to get a thumbs down right now just because you said that.
I know. At the press conference, and it's one of those things where I just don't understand how anybody can like that performance. It's really bizarre to me that people are okay with it. Normally I can see both sides, and I'm like, alright, I can see why that's good, and I can see why that's bad, whatever, I have my own opinion on it. For this, to me, there's nothing good about it. It was awful.
This is a big deal to you, isn't it?
She makes me so mad, and she's
this
there
is where I'm sitting in the chair right now. I'm like, is this guy still talking about this? Holy cow. This is a Sony conference right now.
Yeah, whatever. But she's just there constantly, and it makes me mad. And she was in Watch Dogs. I was like, why?
I haven't played that game because I don't have an Xbox One yet.
Why is she in Watch Dogs? Well, it's for 360. You could buy it for that.
Yeah, but why buy a new game for a 360? I think
thought
Battlefield 4 or was South Park. Stick of Truth, I think, was my final Xbox 360 game I'm going to buy.
I think Microsoft did a good job. EA actually did a pretty good job, even though
I was so happy with EA.
Even though they're a pretty hated company.
Yeah, I can see why. They push games like Battlefield 4 out way too early, where there's so many bugs, where you have a map called Dawnbreaker, if anybody's familiar with that. Well, I call it Xbox Breaker because halfway through every time my Xbox freezes, and any EA game, like especially Battlefield 4, makes my Xbox 360 overheat. There's probably an easy solution that all you guys are like, to just Google it, Travis, and you'll find the answer. But it's just dumb. I shouldn't have to find a reason why my Xbox 360 is burning up just because I'm playing Battlefield 4.
Yeah, well, thermal paste, am I right?
Right.
Take it apart and throw some thermal paste on there. That'll work. EA is actually they're trying so hard to get rid of that mantra that they're the worst company in America.
It's going to take them a while, because they really have made that over a long time.
But they're doing things like, on Origin, they now have...
Origin, for those who don't know, what is Origin?
It's sort of their answer to Steam. It's like on the PC, it's their game delivery system, sort of.
Who, EA?
EA's, yeah. But they're giving away free games on Origin now. Like, I think Peggle's free on there at the time of this recording. I don't know why you'd ever want to play Peggle on your PC.
I haven't even heard of it really, but
it's a better mobile game than it is on the PC. But Battlefield 3 was free the other week, so I picked that up. It was pretty fun.
Yeah, it's an amazing game.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay.
I'll stop. For those who want to go above and beyond the Call of Duty, try Battlefield.
It definitely looks pretty. I couldn't follow the story at all, though. Like,
yeah,
I
but at
got
least
lost.
the gameplay, for a little digression here, the gameplay is different than Call of Duty.
And the sound design was incredible. And I loved it.
And the graphics, especially if you download the extra 16 gigabyte whatever it is for the graphics. I know it's not that much, but the extra download for the HD graphics, it just makes it look great.
Yeah.
And it's different because, like, one of the first missions, did you play the campaign?
Yeah, I did.
Do you remember one of the first missions where there is the bomb inside the Humvee when the group you're trying to come save, there's a bomb and you have to follow the cord inside of a building to find the detonator?
Oh, yeah.
That was awesome. That was something
cool.
different than
that.
what I'm used to with Call of Duty. And I'd even say Halo, kind of, where all it is I am going through different sections just shooting cover, shooting cover. It was something new, and I really liked that.
Or in Halo 4, shooting, cover, push button.
Yeah.
There's a lot of buttons in Halo 4 for some reason. They had new button pressing technology, and I guess they wanted to implement it. And now they have a new initiative called Game Time, where you can...
Origin, you're talking about, right?
Yeah, Origin.
Okay.
Where they...
I know we went on a little digression.
Yeah,
I just want to bring us back.
Where you can download specific games. They have them, they do them like one at a time, and they tell you when they're available. And then from the time that you launch it, you can play it for 48 hours. Not 48 hours in-game time, 48 hours real time. So this past weekend, it was actually Titanfall. So they're trying to get an audience back a little bit by offering free games, which, is nice. Unfortunately, that doesn't really fix the things they actually got wrong and the reason why they're the most hated company in America.
I think South Park even did a bit for them.
I wouldn't doubt it.
If anybody looks it up, it's a pretty hilarious episode. The E3 episode. The EA episode. Yeah. I'm sorry, not E3.
They won the award twice in a row, so they had a lot of time to make an episode about it. Yeah, so they're giving away free games, but that doesn't really fix, like, rushing out games, like Dragon Age 2, which was a travesty, and the ending of Mass Effect 3.
I really don't like using that word right now.
What, travesty?
A travesty.
Well...
I really don't like the connotation.
your name is Tyrone anyway, right?
That's a good point.
Did we decide that?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's my street name.
Yeah, I like it.
I had a few things written here. Andrew, you have your own channel on YouTube, right?
I do have my own channel.
So let's do a little bit of a plug right now. Tell us about your videos. I saw one. It was like Merchant Ship Simulator. I think that's your #1 video on your...
That's not true. You have not done your homework.
Check it up right now. That is one of the best videos you will ever watch.
Yeah, not even on my channel, but thanks though.
Oh, is it on Mach7 channel?
Yeah, it's on the Mach7 channel. That's a machinima that I made myself.
It's pretty great.
It could be better. Much better. It sucks. But, it's funny.
Tell us about your channel. What's it called?
So my channel is youtube.com/thebrixton6. That's TheBrixton, then the number 6. I feel like a jerk putting the in there, but Brixton 6 was already taken, so I was like, alright, well, close enough. And I pretty much just make Let's Plays. And
what were some of the videos? Let me just slow you down here a little bit. So what kind of video games do you normally take into Let's Plays?
Not any kind of game. Mostly story-based. Usually they kind of have to be a bit more linear than, say, like Skyrim. I would never do Skyrim for a Let's Play because I
tried watching those and
it would just be so hard. Especially for me when I can't keep a conversation going with myself for 400 hours through a Skyrim playthrough. But I only have a few Let's Plays up there right now. So I have Tomb Raider, Bioshock Infinite, and I'm still working on Dead Space 3 and Burial at Sea, the DLC for Bioshock Infinite.
Okay.
You go back to Rapture from Bioshock 1 and 2.
Spoiler alert.
You figure that out in the first 2 minutes of the 2 minutes of the game. I'm still working on those because I've had a few problems with the recording of those. But recently I started doing a new series called Brixplays. They're a video series based on the YouTuber Dexter Manning. He has Let's Plays that are called Dexplays. I was like, alright, I'll just rip that off. Why not? People seem to like those. They're like Let's Plays, but they're not full playthroughs of games. I basically just play for 20 to 30 minutes or so, and then just sort of cut it so it's all the funny parts. And then I do some video editing and a lot of zooming in. I like the zoom in effect. It makes it a lot funnier. I don't know why. But yeah, so for that I have a video in Saints Row 3.
I just got that from Better with Gold or whatever it is.
Oh,
Free
yeah.
with Gold for Xbox 360. I'm
Yeah.
playing through that right now.
It's a fun game.
It is pretty fun. It's the first time I've ever played a Saint Rose game, and it's like the first GTA-like game I've
Yeah.
played since Vice City.
And we can talk about why I like Saints Row more than GTA, but in a second. So I have a video in Dust and Elysian Tale, which is like an indie side-scrolling hack and slash type game.
Side-scrolling.
It's pretty fun, actually.
Where'd you get it from?
I got it for Games with Gold. It was free.
Okay, there we go.
And then the last one I did was in Dark Souls, which I'm really proud of. It's probably one of my favorite videos I've ever made.
So check that out and see if it's true. Compare that with Merchant Ship
Yeah.
Simulator. See what you guys think.
I guess I didn't really talk about Merchant Ship Simulator.
No,
at
you
all, but-
haven't. Yeah, that was like your first masterpiece.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about
terrible.
Merchant Ship, because that's the most excited one I am. For
Yeah.
Words.
It's hard. So Merchant Ship Simulator is it's a Halo machinima where I cut in some gameplay from other games because I think it's funny to include different stuff. And it's basically two guys are sitting on a couch playing a game, and one guy brings in this game and he's like, look, he's real excited about this game. He's like, look, I got Merchant Ship Simulator. And it's sort of a play on all these different simulator games
Right.
that have been coming out.
Like Goat.
Yeah, like Goat Simulator and Euro Truck Simulator and Farming Simulator, that kind of stuff. So I thought it'd be a funny joke, especially since Assassin's Creed 4 had just been come out. That's not English. Had just come out, and
I don't feel so bad now.
I know. So it was just sort of in my mind, and so I thought I'd write a script for it, and then I shot all the scenes myself, did all the voice acting myself, because I don't work with people well, apparently, because other people make me
This has
angry.
actually been quite a process again to do a podcast with me. So
Yeah, well, I've only been asking to do a podcast since like February. Nobody ever listens to me. But yeah, so it's basically just them playing Merchant Ship Simulator and the funny commentary that would arise from that. It's actually almost Let's Play-esque in a way,
that's
which
how
I actually didn't realize while I was making it. Just now, I just realized it's actually sort of a Let's Play within a machinima. But
Do we ever describe a machinima?
no, but
I feel like those who are listening probably should know if they're at our channel.
yeah, I feel like if you found
If you found us, you were
Machinima
searching
channel.
machinima,
yeah,
the best machinima.
Game of Squad out. Not true. I probably should say it is true, shouldn't I? 'Cause
Yeah, I think
it's my
that's
channel.
hashtag best thing ever.
Alright, cut that out. I'm not gonna. That's too much work. So, so that's Merchant Ship Simulator. Just go watch that video. It's pretty funny. I don't like it because I made it and I think it could be better, but other people seem to think it's funny. So what else?
What do you
That's
hope to
really-
be putting? What do you have coming up? You said you're working with, or you finished Dark Souls. What else do you have coming up for a little bit of a teaser for those who are listening who are actually? This is our first episode, so
Yeah, well, I'm actually going to start playing Burial at Sea again because Burial at Sea was divided into 2 episodes. So I did episode 1, and then I tried to do episode 2, but my capture got screwed up about 10-20 minutes in, so I had to go. I played for an hour at a time, and then just cut it wherever I wanted to. But since the capture screwed up, I just played through the first part again, and so I'm finally gotten around to actually doing that. I told you I was gonna make a Titanfall video.
yeah.
Yeah, I ended up not doing that because it was really bad.
Why is that? What was so bad about it? What are your feelings on Titanfall? First of all,
Just my commentary on the video wasn't good. It wasn't up to my own standards. So I was like, whatever. But yeah, so like I said, I'm not a multiplayer guy. And
that's all this is now.
Yeah,
they got rid of regular campaign, which is your baby.
Yeah, since Titanfall is all multiplayer, I wanted to give it a try. I appreciate it for being something at least a little bit different and unique from, the Call of Duties or the Battlefields. It's not entirely different because it was made by Respawn, who were ex-Infinity War guys, but
Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 4.
So, I mean, the gameplay definitely feels similar to that, but, just the movement itself is so different than a Call of Duty game. It's really nice and refreshing to get something unique. That said, since I'm not a big multiplayer guy, I just sort of, whatever.
So what was new? You said that the campaign they're trying to work at through the multiplayer.
Yeah, so, I mean, the campaign is just different, playing through different maps, and each map sort of has its story, that, the reason for going to that map and, fighting on it, but it's just a multiplayer game. So you're fighting against other players in this, and I think you have to win, actually, to unlock the next campaign mission, but I'm not entirely sure. I never lost, so I don't actually know.
Wow.
Yeah.
You hate the game and you haven't lost?
Well, I wasn't the one who won it for us.
Ah.
I was pretty bad, but just the other guys were so better than
You see
the
this
other
guy
team.
in Halo 4, I mean.
Yeah, I'm pretty MLG.
I have never seen somebody go so far negative in his KD. So
Headshots for days.
He's running around with a plasma pistol all the time.
I don't see the problem. Noob combo, right?
Right.
Yeah. But so the Titanfall campaign is like the story is told through tiny cutscenes where it's not even really cutscenes. It's like just videos on characters' faces, and they're just talking to each other, and it's all played out through a small like window in the top right corner of the screen.
I feel like there's a bunch of old games that do that.
Maybe.
Like, I'm talking about old games where they actually had the real people video
right
on the 8-bit graphics.
Dude, like this is actually a good segue. Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2 is an old game. I think it was only released for PC.
That's why I've never heard of it. I'm not a PC
runs
gamer.
through DOSBox.
Wow.
That's how old it is.
DOS.
But yeah, it had like
along with System Link. If you guys know what DOS is,
yeah.
I'm right here for you.
But yeah, it had like live action cutscenes with
those were the best.
Not good gameplay graphics, but it was actually not bad. Like the acting in it, because normally those actors are incredibly cheesy and bad. it was actually okay. But I will like that series. So
talking about old games like that, I want to talk about one of my favorite machinima creators,
Dude,
Ross Scott.
Oh yes,
Gamer Dungeon. I know.
Oh really?
I'm a super big fan of. If you guys have never heard of him, Accursed Farms is a machinima made by a production company-ish.
Yeah.
I don't know what you consider it.
I don't really know what you would call it. It's just sort of like...
It's a group made by Ross Scott, who is the creator of Civil Protection, Accursed Farms, and he does a lot of actually really cool tutorial videos for using different software. Galaxy Gulp, I think, was one that he made.
And more importantly, Freeman's Mind.
Freeman's Mind is a fantastic video.
Mention that.
Most of these games are done through the Half-Life engine, Steam.
Yeah. But
they're fantastic videos. But another one he makes is Gamer Dungeon, where he goes off of old games. I mean, like Doom type games. And he does a great job with that. So I highly recommend going and checking those videos out if you guys like that type of Let's Play from back in the day.
Is that like a Let's Play? I actually haven't watched any of them.
They're all Let's Plays. Like, talk about the 8-bit music that's awesome in it and that type of stuff. And it's just a really good time because I never got to play those games. I started with the N64.
Yeah.
I think we've mentioned that a couple times. So I didn't get to play any of those games, no Super Nintendo or Sega or even the old computer games. So I didn't get to play any of those. So actually watching these and then seeing what people do with mods nowadays to improve the graphics of those games from back in the day is just really cool. See, people are still actually working with stuff. Mostly games called, as he has coined it, abandonware. These are games where the company has gone out and nobody has claimed the game for ever. Like, I'm talking 15 years, nobody has claimed the rights to these games because the company went out and nobody bought them. So these are just games who are just hanging in the balance. So when he advertises them, he doesn't feel too bad about people downloading them for free because nobody technically owns them right now.
Right. And I mean, you can't really even... It'd probably be difficult to even buy them from anywhere anymore. So they might as well just let them go for free.
So if you guys are into that old type of game, check out some of Ross Scott's video. They're really cool, and he's also one of the administrators in Gorilla Gong. You want to do a segue into Gorilla Gong?
We can talk about Gorilla Gong.
A plug for Gorilla Gong. So
I love Gorilla Gong.
You love it. You're on there all the time. So tell us, what is Gorilla Gong?
So basically the way they describe it is Gorilla Gong is what Machinima.com used to be, where it's basically the amalgamation of all these different YouTube shows, machinimas specifically, all in one place, so it's easier to find and easier to,
But more importantly,
like.
We're talking about upcoming producers too. Is one of the biggest parts.
Their rule is that they don't feature any video that has more than 250,000 views.
So it's really good for people like us.
Yeah, it's great.
We've actually been on the homepage a couple times for feature videos.
Well, at least once.
I'm going to say a couple times just because we sound cool.
Alright, fair enough. I'll allow it. Yeah, I think it was episode 9 of Gamma Squad.
Of Gamma Squad Out.
Got put on there. Actually, I haven't checked the viewer numbers of
Why don't you check it out real quick? I'll keep babbling.
Yeah,
but Gamma Squad is really cool. What I really like is that they have taken on quite a few people who have taken the job of being a administrator and looking at, because people can submit videos into their Suggestotron, where the administrators can go through and they can look at the videos, and if they like them, they'll put them onto the page where people like you and I can go to that page, and we can also look at Suggestotron and see if we like the games. But I normally stick to the homepage where the featured videos are. And so going beyond that, it's just really cool to see games because they have it with Team Fortress games, all those Steam games. They have Halo games. They have a lot of Minecraft games, Skyrim. People who use the Battlefield engine to create Machinima. It's just a really good site. So have you found anything for us yet, Brixie?
I'm working on it. Hang on. My computer's being extra slow today, so it's probably because of this new theme I put on it.
And what is your new theme that you just put on your computer? I'm pretty jelly, actually.
So I made a theme I downloaded a theme where it changed, like, the look of the windows and various different pages to, to look like Skyrim-esque, sort of. Like how the menus sort of look.
So right now I'm looking at his computer, and right now his little cursor for his mouse actually looks like something from Skyrim.
Yeah.
Like a little map finder.
Yeah, it's like the actual cursor in Skyrim.
Right, from when you're looking at maps.
Okay, so it looks... that's actually kind of impressive. So episode 9 of Gamma Squad, which was featured on Gorilla Gong, has 146 views.
Which is...
I think is the most
I think
on
that's
the channel.
7 times what we used to have, at least.
At least.
I hope this podcast gets that many views.
Episode 1 has 129, which is pretty nice.
And then after that, it just goes up from there, right?
No, it actually goes down. But, we're doing our best. They're all above, 30 views approximately, at least, which is nice. I like that at least some people are watching it. Quotable Slender has 102 views.
Tell us about Quotable Slender. I mean, that's one of the first videos that we ever put up.
Yeah, so Quotable Slender was a video made by Abby, part of the Machinima Club, and she had this idea to sort of dub lines from Twilight over the gameplay of Slender. So
sounds interesting.
Yeah, so it would, zoom in on Slender Man's face, and then we'd have this line describing Edward, and it fits Slender Man scarily well. It's really well made too. She did a really good job editing that video. But then she made a gag reel where she took some of the outtakes from the recording session and actually animated it herself. That's a good time. Definitely go watch that video. I don't want to spoil it. It's only 3 minutes long, but I don't want to spoil what happens in that video.
Why don't you talk about some of the Let's Plays that you and one of our leads, Stuart, created? I know that's one of your favorite ones.
Yeah. So Stuart and I decided to play the Elder Scrolls Online beta a few months ago. And, man, that was a good time. There was a lot of just messing around, and we decided to go with the Ebonheart Pact. So we were in... Where were we? Bleak Rock or something? I don't remember. Whatever. Yeah, we went on some adventures.
And what character did you choose?
Had some hijinks. Well, I was an Argonian, of course.
Oh, wow. That was out of nowhere.
I was an Argonian Nightblade. I like to smash people with 2 axes. It was pretty fun. Stuart went with a 2-handed wielding Nord, which describes him pretty well. But yeah, we just messed around in that game for a while. It's a little weird to complain about, how long we had to record for Backseat Gamers and how difficult that was to go through and edit. But for that game, we actually played for 4 hours.
Which game?
Elder Scrolls Online.
Okay.
We played for 4 hours and I had to edit that video down. But it wasn't quite as bad because, one, I didn't have to constantly be resyncing the audio because we only had one audio source. And we ended up only having one screen. We could only record Stuart's screen because my computer decided it didn't want to run Elder Scrolls Online and record the video at the same time. So you can see in the first 3/4 of episode 1, you can see some of my gameplay, and it did not work. So for the rest of it, we just went with Stuart's screen. I think it worked out okay. Normally, I would have liked to be able to switch back and forth between the perspectives, but I mean, we stayed together for the most part, so it wasn't too bad to only see it from Stuart's view.
Awesome. So, do you have anything else, going back to the Gorilla Gong thing that we were talking about?
I mean, not really. I would just...
Check it out, guys.
I would recommend checking it out.
If you guys like Machinima and you've seen our channel and you want to check out more, I'm impressed. Go to Gorilla Gong.
That's true.
And check out, they have some really good stuff there, too.
Yeah, they do. I'm really impressed with some of the stuff they have because it's... I'm glad that they aren't to the level that Machinima got to, where they're too big for their own heads and they don't want to actually
They become the EA.
Yeah, they don't want to
games.
actually have Machinima on their channel anymore. So, yeah, it's a good time. And they don't even have... I don't think they even have, a YouTube channel either. that they put
Gorilla
stuff
Gong?
on. Yeah.
No.
So they just keep everything. They just embed all the videos on the website. So you don't make any contracts with them to put their videos up there or anything like that.
What happened to Blit TV?
I think they're still around.
Didn't they get bought out by somebody, and that's why a lot of people aren't using it anymore? Because now they're like getting a lot of money off their advertisements from them or something like that.
It could be. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure exactly. I remember a lot of people are going back to YouTube who were using Blip TV.
Yeah.
So.
And I mean, and there's a lot of other sources for that too. A lot of people went to like Twitch TV and that kind of thing.
I'm not familiar with Twitch. Tell us about Twitch.
Twitch is like a live streaming website where you can basically have your gameplay like live stream to people all the time if you wanted, I guess. And
wow.
So it's basically like you can do Let's Plays, but it's all live.
That's kind of cool, actually.
They have a lot of like competitive type games like StarCraft and Dota and League of Legends. I think pretty sure League of Legends is the biggest viewed show on there. And I know like Ray from Rooster Teeth, he streams on Twitch pretty often when he's like grinding achievements because it just allows him to like interact with the fans while he's playing video games, which he likes. So
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. We should do live streams.
If this video reaches 300 views, we will do live streams.
Okay. Why? No, we won't. I'm pretty sure. I think it takes a lot to actually set up a live stream, like setup, because you need to be able to get the audio from your commentary in there as well. I guess you wouldn't have to have it, but who's gonna watch us? Nobody cares that much.
Yet.
You're right.
Once we get that 7 out.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't really have much to talk about for the rest of the day.
We got a meeting to go to pretty soon.
Yeah, conference call with our Mach7 group.
It's gonna be great. Can't wait for it. It's gonna be fantastic.
So guys, stick tuned. Thank you for watching our first episode.
Did you say stick tuned?
Stay tuned.
Okay.
Stick with us. We are going to be putting another one of these podcasts up next week. So
yeah, you think we can make this be a regular thing?
I think so. I hope people will like this. And if you guys like it, hit that little like button and subscribe to Mach7. Check out some of our videos. Let us know what you guys think.
Check out the Let's Plays because they don't have very many views and they're hilarious.
That too. And then let us know what you guys want in the comments because we like to please.
We do.
So
we're big pleasers.
Once again, my name is Travis and this is Andrew. Thanks for watching, guys. Or listening, I should say.
Bye.
Mach7 out.